Hola, mi gente. Welcome to Latina Mic Drop. I'm your girl, Miriam Simon, leadership expert, and now publishing you. So if you have a book you want to write, you have a story you want to tell, you are in charge of a framework you want to share, something that is saying, you know what, I should put it in a book, or people telling you should put it in a book, reach out to me at info@miriamsimon.online. So let's get into today's topic. Today we are talking fearless leadership. Why fearless leadership? I mean, sometimes some of us, we don't even realize we're fearless until we are faced with doing something and we're like, damn, that was hard, or damn, that was scary, or wow, I didn't think I could do it. Or you're like Bad Bunny sitting at the Grammys and you're the first Spanish speaking album to win the Album of the Year award, right? Like sometimes that happens to us, and give credit where credit is due. Give yourself a round of applause if you've been a first and done something, accomplished something that has never been done before, because we've done that plenty. So many of us are first gen in so many different ways. And so here are some of the things that I do that make me fearless. And I just want to let you know that my grandfather would say to me, hija, vete sin miedo, vete sin miedo. So anytime that I'm feeling scared, anxious, all I do is hear my grandfather, him saying that to me. And that is what keeps me going and what makes me go ahead and do it anyways. And here is a thing that I do that is sometimes hard, sometimes pretty much really necessary, and I don't have a problem doing it, even if I may not be liked for doing it. So, saying the hard thing with receipts, calling out misalignment, bias, unethical behavior, or we've always done it this way. Man, that pisses me off. That drives me crazy. I can't stand when people say we've always done it this way. So, is it working? If it is working, why break something that's working? But if it can be done better, and if it could be done more efficiently, and if there's faster ways of getting it done, then why not give it a try? Calling out misalignment, I mean, sometimes we have to really recognize that things just don't go together, right? I've mentioned that a few times, where sometimes we're saying things or doing things and it doesn't align with the messaging, with the purpose, with the vision, with the mission, with what we want, where we're headed. It just doesn't fit. So sometimes calling that out is a good thing, because once you know and you're aware of it, then you can make a change. Broken processes. So for me, broken processes are when just you keep blaming a person for something, but in reality, it's not the person. If it keeps on happening and it happens to one and it happens to the other and it happens to the other in a specific process, then there's a problem with the process. So let's take care of it. Why not face it? Why not try to find a solution? Why not think outside the box? Sometimes people think, oh, we don't have a budget for it. Okay, so be resourceful and think about what are the different things that we can do. Because a lot of times we're thinking what we can't do, but think about what you can do. Unethical behavior. I mean, me calling some people out, I think they started to begin to notice that, oh, wait, is that what this really is? Is that what's really happening? And then people began to notice, and people start to recognize, wait, and then guess what? You become their advocate because they realize it's happening to them too. Now, don't be reckless with it. Make sure that it's correct, it's factual, and there's a way to do it so that, you're not losing your job or anything like that. Leading as your full self, no code switching. I mean, come on. Bad Bunny is a perfect example of that, where wherever he went, he did not say or try to be somebody that he isn't, right? I mean, identity integration at work is like having your values, your boundaries, your culture, your story, and your presence, and showing people that you don't need permission to take up space. When the people that speak Spanish walk outside of my office through the hallway, I'm like, hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo te va? ¿Todo bien? ¿Cómo te fue el fin de semana? And they reply back to me in Spanish. And everybody around me does not speak Spanish. And guess what? If they don't like it, tough. Power, play, and protection. So, in this aspect, right, we want to make sure that we're getting promoted. We're not doing things for free. We're not raising our hand just to do everything just because we want to get a promotion. Like sometimes they just get us more work. That doesn't mean it's going to get us a promotion. Sponsorship, right? Who do you align yourself with? And who are those power people? Who are those decision makers? Who has access to proximity, to power, that can say your name when you're not there, who can get you what you need, who can connect the dots for you. It's not always about getting a promotion. It could be about getting visibility. It could be about getting resources like money, budget. It could be getting onto a project that normally would be given to somebody else. It could be getting executive visibility. Like I had the opportunity to go every single month and present to the executive director. And that was immense for my career. Compensation, transparency, know your numbers. Like people, we have to know our numbers in order to be able to negotiate. If you don't know what the job pays or what is expected of it, right? Like some people say, well, I will take the job for this amount of money, but then don't realize that they have to work or be available 24/7. Some jobs are like that. Some jobs, you take them, they say it's 9 to 5, but in reality, you're on until 7, 8 o'clock. So you need to take those hours into consideration to think about that. And knowing where you are in terms of what quadrant you fall under in compensation, that's important. That's important for you to know. And then what do you need to get to the next level? What are the skills? What's the competencies that you need to move forward? Because then, like that, you can advocate for yourself, you can negotiate, and you can be a fearless leader saying, if you're the manager of people and you know this well, you can get the best for your employees. You can do what's right for your employees. But if you don't know, you can make mistakes. You can pay them less. You can miss an opportunity for them because you didn't know. So make sure you know your numbers, you know the structures, you know how things work, and you don't get yourself in trouble either because you have to follow rules and follow guidelines and follow laws and everything like that. In addition to that, right? Ensuring that you are advocating for others. Advocating for others and being of service to others is essential to your well being, to your growth, to your leadership. Because then what are we doing it for? You can't be a leader and be a fearless leader without helping your team, without working with your team, without ensuring that they are getting to the next level, that they're growing, that they're developing, that you're there to tell them. Like sometimes you got to give them hard truths that they're not ready to hear. And you need to be able to coach them and understand when and how is the right time to break the news to them. Sometimes you will give them a negative performance review, not because you don't like them, but because the performance is not up to par, because they are not performing the way they should, because they are missing deadlines consistently, right? Rewarding bad behavior is not being a good leader. In order to be a good leader, you need to be able to talk to them. And at the same time, being human first is important, right? So understanding that some people may need a little bit more, may need your understanding, may need more training, maybe going through something and require you to help them get through a tough moment. And on top of that, ensuring that if we have tech that can augment the worker's experience, the employee's experience, that we use that to our advantage, but without losing our humanity, right? With trust, with ethical values, preventing burnout. Who the hell wants to stay at work all freaking night manually entering data or manually reviewing data reports if you don't have to? Now there's so many technological advances that you can have, such as AI, that can help you with this. But you still got to use your brain. You still got to be a human first. You still have to make sure that you're understanding what's there, what is coming back, how to prompt it. But the reality is that you cannot abandon your people for speed, right? So, like, always making sure that you are there for your people and that you're human first. I mean, it just makes sense. And then having courageous boundaries and consequences. So sometimes you have to make unpopular calls. This year, I had to make a tough call that was really hard for me, to the point where I could not sleep. I even had a nightmare after the fact. It was that difficult to make that decision. And I knew it was not going to be easy for others to accept, but it was what needed to be done. Holding peers accountable, helping your peers, helping the people that you're with, making sure that they understand that. Because you know what, some people, you give them the hand, they take the whole arm. You give them a chance, they want another one. You give them another chance, they want another one. And then they just never do it. Or sometimes you find yourself doing the work for them. No, they need to do their job. They need to be able to perform, get things done, and on time, figure things out on their own sometimes, and learn from their mistakes. Stop performative DE and I. That drives me nuts. I can't stand when people swear that they are being ethical and diverse and inclusion and all this stuff. And in reality, like, before, they were just doing it because they had to, not because they wanted to. They just did it because they needed to check the box. But now that they don't have to check the box, those people are gone and out. And guess what they're doing? Back to what they were doing before, with the likability bias, or people that look like them or act like them. And the other thing is ending toxic norms. I mean, listen, I will call out a bad pattern, a bad habit, like no tomorrow. My team will understand and will see that that type of toxic behavior is not acceptable within the group. No matter where I am, I will set that boundary and ensure that they recognize and realize that that is not acceptable behavior. And protecting the team's psychological safety. Sometimes people are just not ready to hear. Sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes people do not adjust to change as easily as we would like. Sometimes it's a matter of really them losing a lot. And it may not feel like a lot to you, but to them it does. So it's important that we give them the opportunity to have the psychological safety. But at the same time, like, we have to recognize too, when people are not being honest or not being truthful, or embellishing the truth, embellishing what they do, like, we have to recognize that and be able to address it in a dignified way, not being rude or mean or anything like that. It's always a good thing to be able to work with your team, work with your people, work with your colleagues, talk to your external network. And fearless leadership is definitely about being able to be yourself wherever you are. So the Latina in me is the Latina in me. I will be me wherever I go. That's one of the reasons why I wear my hair curly and wavy, because I don't want to walk around with my blow dried hair or straight hair every single day. And I get more commentary when I do wear it, but my hair is naturally wavy. So why Why change that? My brown eyes, I don't wear contacts. I will not be wearing blue contacts. I don't want to dye my hair. I'm very low maintenance, so I do whatever's low maintenance for me. And I will be my queer self anywhere I am. I'm a grandma, so I will definitely be talking about little babies and the grandparents. And I'm a dog mom, so I love that. Anything that I choose to be, I will be. So you should too. Think about all those things that make you who you are, and think about what your fearless leadership looks like and write those values down. Think about what's non-negotiables. What are some of the boundaries that you can set? What are some of the things that you can address? Listen, not everything has to be an argument, and not everything is conflicting or conflict resolution. A lot of the stuff we can address it even though it's hard. If you come with good intentions and a good heart, and the other person is willing to listen, and you're both there to get a solution and find common ground, you can make it happen. You can make things happen. People will even change what they thought. And I've made non believers believers in many different ways. And some of those conversations were very tough. But thankfully, we stuck by it. And sometimes you just need to be the first person to do it and be the first person to go ahead and try different things. And sometimes you do fail, but you can, work it out. You can work through it. And then you get to the other side. So think about what are all those things that would make your leadership fearless. And if you're not a leader per se, think about ways that you can help others, and you will become a leader by default. So thank you so much for tuning into Latina Mic Drop. It's your girl, Miriam Simon. If you like this episode, please share, subscribe, go to my website, miriamsimon.online, pick up a copy of Tattoos and Pearls, Combining Street Wisdom with Corporate Strategy. You can work with me as your executive coach, or if you're thinking about publishing a book, I am your girl. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Latina Mic Drop. See you on the flip side.